Cameron Ali, and in past generations, cash was used for most daily purchases, and today it is rarely flashed, especially not by young people. Even the way we shop has changed. Online shopping has become a top choice for many people, creating ample opportunities to use and overuse credit and accumulate debt and fast. Listen, I'm a young college student who has a home, 3 dogs, a girlfriend, and a car, so my wallet feels the pain, and so did my parents. For 5 years, me and my brother were nationally ranked fencers who would travel most of the 50 states to compete, having to pay for all of that out of our parents' pocket. And over that time, they racked up a substantial debt of credit equaling almost $100,000. And only until they met a man named Dave Ramsey at church who would let them do a class would they eventually learn the ways to dig themselves out of that hole and to now have assets that both me and my brother can benefit from today. The class opened my eyes to the importance of money and how easy it was to lose yourself in the rat race of working a 9 to 5 and having bone-crushing debt. As kids grow up nowadays, they begin to see how hard the system is set up against us financially. So we need to start educating ourselves to not fall into the trap of working for money. Today, I'll be trying to persuade you to teach yourself and your young ones about money and how you can use your money to build generational wealth. First, I will talk to you about the type of financial burden we experience today as millennials. And secondly, I will be telling you how and what we should be trying to learn about financial literacy. Now, according to a web article by CSNBC published on November 27th in 2017 by Emmy Martin, college tuition in 1980 for room and board for fees for a 4-year post-secondary institution was $9,438 a year. And that's not so bad, right? But now in this time span of 2017 to 2018, that number has become $34,740. And that is a 260% increase. Even now at our grade school of Valencia, for four classes a semester at $600 a class, that's still $12,000. And that is ridiculous. And all this going on while the power of our dollar and our purchasing power has remained the same, if not gotten worse. Now, we've all heard it. Go to school, go to college, get a good job, and live, right? So let's do that. We just finished high school and we're applying for college loans so we could go to UCF. Do you know that 2.7 million people in this country owe $100,000 or more in college loans? That being $833 a month without interest. Now let's say you land a job with a starting salary of $50,000. So automatically we're leaving college $50,000 in the hole. And all this is providing we do not have children, we do not have a car, we do not have a home, we do not need to eat, we do not need to wear clothes, any of that, So, scared yet? I am. However, if you keep listening to me, you will be spared. What if I told you that there is a way to negate most of this debt and expense by spending your money, negating most of the big expenses in the future by spending your money now? This brings me to my next point, what I feel like we should learn. I read a book by a man named Robert Kiyosaki called Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and I feel like it changed my life. It is a book about a dad that does the norm and goes to school and has a normal job and goes to college, and another dad that has nothing but an education about money. And I don't want to summarize the book for you guys, but we can guess who makes the most money, right? The guy that has the knowledge about money. So he speaks in the book the important lessons that his dad gave him about money and the ones that he followed so he became successful himself. I believe if we taught it to our children and ourselves, we will become more wealthy than our wildest dreams. Just 4 things. Knowing the difference between an asset and a liability, an example being a mutual fund versus a home, and understanding the cash flow of the books of wealthy versus poor people, and understanding that the rich buy assets, the middle class buys liabilities thinking that they're assets, and poor people just have expenses. Now let me show you a chart to explain what I'm talking about. We have 4 boxes: your income, your expense, your assets, and your liabilities. Now this is what most of us are in right now. We have a job that pays us a paycheck that we use to pay our taxes, our mortgages, things for our children, food, fun, anything. And then after we do that, we still have our debt of our mortgage, our credit cards, and our car notes. And after that, all of our money is going out the door to the government or whoever we owe money to, and not back to us. But the way a rich person would set up his books is they don't have a job. They're using their money to make more money. That's the concept, right? So we have stocks that pay us dividends. And we have real estate that pays us like rental income from our tenants. And we got our royalties from our intellectual property. And we're just gonna use that to buy more stocks to pay us more dividends, more bonds, and more real estate and funds to just keep increasing that cash flow. And I hope after seeing that chart, you begin to see where you fall and what you need to do, because now more than ever, we all need to be aware of financial literacy to be sure we can teach it to the younger generation. Before I sign off, let me leave you with one more example that I'm sure me and a lot of other people in this room can relate to. We just bought a new Audi for $68,000 at $470 a month. When if we would have just bought a decent car like an Acura or a Honda for $5,000 and spent that other $65,000 in real estate and kept trading it up for bigger properties and to keep renting it out and making more money, we would soon have 3 times our investment. And let me ask you, what's better, 1 Audi or 3? In conclusion, it is never too late to start building generational wealth, and you can start with pennies. If you don't want your kids to work as hard as you, I please implore you to get educated and to educate your children that they do not have to follow the paths that are set for them, but instead we can blaze new ones as a family. Thank you.